Hey Soul Fam, I'm back again. This is part two. Um, kind of, sort of. I wanted to talk a little bit about July 4th, yesterday. I wanted to come on yesterday, but I know everybody's doing their thing with their families, traveling, enjoying whatever they're enjoying. And this is actually a message that I want to get to as many people as possible. So I didn't want to upload it on the day when I felt the least people would see it, because truthfully the energy of what I'm about to say is the same. But one of the things that I'm coming to realize is I guess I am going to be in some ways the self-appointed esoteric librarian, but I've noticed some patterns and things. Yesterday, July 4th, 2004, was 248 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence, the birth of this nation, the United States of America. Now, as I started this awakening in the matrix thing, whatever you want to call it, one of the things that the neighbors across the way are just now seeing the tree, yeah. But one of the things that I noticed, or one of the questions that I started asking as I did start waking up, was, I get the whole "in God we trust" thing, and the United States is considered, one of the most powerful countries in the nation. But my thing was always, how did that happen? Now, there's some things that I've been shown about how some of these puzzle pieces fit together that we're going to discuss in more detail along the way. But please understand, we've been taught to fear astrology and numerology and a lot of different things that the religious systems of the world, especially Christianity and God we trust, have been taught us as evil. But I also noticed in the Bible, when I started reading, I read with comprehension, but I also started noticing a lot of astrological and mystical cues and hints and things that were left behind that were very much, basically, we're being told not to use the things that the hierarchy is actually using. And to that effect, there's something you need to be aware of about where we are in the timeline and July 4th. Now, we are in an 8 year, and that's, I wrote down, I did take some notes on this because it was crazy. Let me start from the top. Yesterday around 5:30 Eastern Time here in the US, in the United States, which includes Philadelphia, where the Declaration of Independence was signed. But yesterday, around 5:30 Eastern Time, Pluto was in the exact same alignment with Philadelphia as it was the very day that the Declaration of Independence was signed. That's not an accident. Washington, D.C., the map of the city is like architecturally and mathematically perfect. Everything about the planning of this, when it was done, if you don't believe me, like I said, Hollywood been telling us, hiding the truth in plain sight. Go look at all them Nicolas Cage movies when they were talking about the things that were happening when this city was when this country was being established as a country. But Pluto was in that alignment. Now, Pluto moves so slow till, truthfully, the last time Pluto went out of alignment, went retrograde, was 2008, when the housing market, all of that stuff fell. Pluto came back into ingress on February 22nd of 2024. Now, what's unusual about all three of those, with those dates, yesterday, the 24th, and July 4th of 1776, all of those are 5 days numerologically. If you break them down, all three of those days, 1776 was a 5 day, Pluto's ingress was a 5 day, and yesterday was a 5 day in an 8 year. Now, five is about, well, Yeah, fives are about good luck. Biblically, it's God's grace and mercy towards humankind. It represents major change. I was online and I saw there the site Tiny Ritual says it is a number that works as a symbol of individual and or individualization and encourages you to hold firm when it comes to self-belief, freedom, and caring, no, and carving your own journey in life. Can't read my writing. Yeah, when it comes to self-belief, freedom, and carving your own journey in life, change that boosts spiritual growth. Now, July 5th is a 2 day. Today, it's a 2 day. So, a 5 day, and truthfully, if we looked at 555, we got to start the rebirth, the reset. July 5th is a 2 day, which represents the balance, harmony, promise of success, attaining your goals, desires. The number 20 also speaks of fresh starts, being drawn toward people who can bring those stable relationships, spiritual connection with the world is calling in your soul family. Now, 55, of course, change and spiritual growth, fresh start, transformation, desires, spiritual guidance, learning, transition, freedom, independence, successful manifestation. Now, the reason I mentioned the 555 thing, I always ask, how is it that this country became a world power in less than 200 years? How did that happen? That's crazy. In history, we look at the histories that have been given, they don't usually go global like that. Using the power of a manifestation, though, it's possible. Now we're being called into rebirth. Like I said, Pluto came into Aquarius on that 5 day, February 22nd, 2024. Monday, I think Monday or Tuesday, Pluto will go back retrograde into Capricorn until November, and then it will be in Capricorn for probably most of the rest of our lives. But it'll come back into Aquarius, and it's going to be there for the rest of most of our lives, or at least 20 years, I believe. I can't remember the cycles. I'm not big on the astrology, but I do know that the energies that are being felt, a lot of people are being moved to stuff. Mass awakening is happening. And for those who have been feeling stuck, you made it past the necessarily conspiracy theory era of wokeness and gotten past some of that and are being called to do something and don't understand exactly what it is or exactly why, or kind of sort of wondering, or those questions that you always you don't want to be disloyal to God and the church and all of that, but something doesn't quite feel right. I'm inviting you to take the ride with me. I'm being called to tell my story before I give the revelation that I've been given, because I've been, a lot of the fits and starts you've been seeing with the channel, me saying I'm going to do the videos and then I couldn't, and then even I started reading for the channel a little bit on YouTube, and then fits and stuff, but I was doing a lot of the work, and I came to understand why I was being held at bay for a while. I had to learn how to temper some of the things that I still needed to work through in healing to be able to say what I need to say. I ain't gonna say and offend the least amount of people, because it's gonna offend some people, because that's just what it is. But I want to be able to reach the most amount of people that I can. People that are on the edge, people that are beginning to waken up, people that are at that point in their spiritual journey where they've got some questions. I'm not here to proselytize or convert anyone, but there are some things that people need to be aware of, and that's kind of where I'm at with that. But today is the day of rebirth. Your assignment, if you choose to accept it, as they say, like I said, many are called, few are chosen, but the chosen ones are being called to kind of wake up and activate it. So, as it were, Power Rangers activate, really. And if I can be of some kind of assistance, hey, I'm all for it. So definitely stick around. We're going to get rolling on the story a little bit. I'm just going to freestyle it and see where we go. That's all I know how to do, because I don't know what part's going to benefit you. That's not my job. I've been told me telling my story is going to be healing for me and helpful for somebody of you, Soul Fam. So that's what we're getting ready to ride on and do. I am going to be getting started here shortly, or I'll do a few more clips tonight. But over the next few days, I invite you to ride with me. And if you get some benefit from it, please, by all means, consider following or subscribing, and share it with someone who you also know may be struggling or needs some of that info out there, or is at a point where they may benefit from some of the things that we're going to talk about here. As my story comes out, maybe you'll see something in it for you or one of them. In the meantime, I love you so much. Until the next one, namaste.